I've just discovered something. We have blight. I'm pretty sure it's blight. You might ask why. But I've done some research. I've asked some other gardeners on social media, and I think that we actually do have blight. So I've actually just cut off some of the tops off of the ones that I saw some of the blight from, and I put it in the burn pile. I don't want anything to spread to the next season, so I'm just going to cut off the stems that is badly affected, leave the fruits on the plant and cut off the tops, and just wait for the fruits on the vine to actually ripen, and then I'll just pull them all out. It's just such a shame, you know? You put all this work into sowing the seeds, nurturing them as little seedlings, you know, but some things you just can't control. We've had lots of rain, and then we had the temperatures really warm as well, which is what blight likes to thrive in. The type of humid environment is what it thrives in. So it's been very humid and wet, and it was inevitable. I mean, we were hearing stories about, you know, other gardeners on social media that are also in the UK that's been suffering with blight, and they've had to rip out all their plants. Although mine hasn't got quite to that stage as yet. It's just like the edging of the leaves that's going black or brown, and there was just one plant, I believe, one plant that I had to cut the top off because the top was completely brown. So I cut the top off. There was some fruit on it already, hopefully just ripened the fruit, and then after that happens, I'm going to have to pull out the plants and, you know, start afresh again next season, God willing, of course. I was quite sad earlier on, having discovered that we have blight now. Let me just show you an example here. I've had to cut off the top of this one because it was beginning to brown and the leaves are beginning to blacken as well. Not just the leaves, but like quite a few stems on this one. So I cut that off with my pruners and I threw it in the burn pile, as I said earlier. Let me just give you a closer look. So here is the plant, and I've just cut off the top right here. My black Krim tomato, which I was really looking forward to, but this year just isn't the year for tomatoes, I suppose. Here's another tomato here. I don't know if you can see that, but there. Let me see if I can zoom in. Right there. Do you see that? And around the leaves, it's beginning to change color here. Oh yes, I've had to pull out a whole tomato plant. That was my pink Brandywine. That the whole plant was just, yeah. And plus there wasn't any fruit on it as yet, so I thought, just pull out the whole thing. Once blight is here, it's here to stay. Until the season's over, I suppose. I don't see any signs of blight on this one, so let's hope it stays that way so I can get some tomatoes because I haven't picked any from this variety yet. But the one next to it, I cut off the tops again here. Ugh, right here. And if you can see that, it's not focusing. Yeah, and I cut over here as well. You can see right here. I couldn't bring myself to just pull out the whole plant because there's fruits on it and it's beginning to ripen right here. This variety is called Floridity and it's an F1 variety. Yeah, it's just heartbreaking. For those that know me, I love tomatoes, and even more so since I've become somewhat of a gardener. I just love it, and the variety that there is, it seems to me endless. And to have a few plants taken out like that in such a short space of time, it's sad. These things happen. It's all part of being a gardener. You'll win some, you'll lose some. Whether it's to the weather, pests, animals, toddlers. You guys know what I'm talking about. But it's inevitable. You will lose some plants. That's why it's good to sow as much as you can of everything. If you've got the space, why not? The amount of plants that we've lost this season is I can't even count it. We've lost practically most of our celery plants. I've only got 2 left. Tomatoes, when they were still seedlings, we lost a lot as well, and I had to re-sow most of them. To come and get hit by blight, it's like a kick in the stomach, but these things happen and we have to just look on the bright side of things, you know? I mean, I'm already thinking if the rest of the plants get hit as badly as the ones I've had to pull out, then we're just gonna make this bed into a cut flower bed. And what better way to replace what you love so much with something you love just as much. So I've just realized when I was pruning this tomato plant here that the blight has taken over this shoot. So I'm just gonna cut the top off on this side, and I think I'll do both sides, to be honest, and just to be safe, and just cut off the top so it stops growing upwards, and hopefully put all the energy back into ripening the fruits. I've just cleaned my pruners, you know, in between the cutting, with some water and hydrogen peroxide, so that it doesn't transfer to any of the other plants. I want it to slow the spread, because I know I can't get rid of it now that it's here. I just wanted to slow the spread, so that it gives the plant time to still ripen and we'll still get some tomatoes. Maybe not as much as last year, but at least it's something, right? As you can see here, it's starting to brown. I don't know if you can see it properly, but it's beginning to brown. So I think it's probably spread to this side. So I'm just going to cut it off. There's some small fruits down below here. So I'm just going to cut here, and I think I'll cut this side as well, and just keep the fruits that's already on this plant. And yeah, So I've just had a thought while I was pruning this black indigo cherry tomato. I'm gonna have to pull out the whole plant. It's a variety that I was really looking forward to. It's a new one. I really wanted to taste what it, tasted fresh, ripened on the vine and everything. But I think I'm gonna have to take off the fruits and put them by a window inside to ripen. Hopefully they ripen that way. But I'm gonna have to pull out this whole plant if I don't want it to spread to the rest of my plants. It's really painful, but it has to be done. I was dreading this. And that's it. It's out. And just when I thought I got the worst of it, when it rains, it pours. I'm trying to be very optimistic here, but I'm finding it quite difficult. I was only concentrating at the top of the plant, and I missed this part at the bottom of the only one variety that I have of this one. It's called Vernissage Black. The stem here is brown. That is due to blight, and fortunately it's not on any of these up here. But if I cut this one off now, perhaps it will slow the spread on this plant, because it's only on this section, and I'm gonna have to cut these off as well, even though they're not finished ripening yet. Ugh, get down on my knees. Okay. Oh, this one, I think this one's ripened. I can save the seeds from these. I'm gonna have to pull these off. What a shame. I have to cut this off. Hopefully, oh, see that? Oh, hopefully that slows the spread. But here's a closer look of what I was talking about. There you go. You can see it turned brown for most of the stem, and when I cut off the stem, it was really squidgy. So yeah, hopefully that slows the spread until I can get these to ripen. But so far I don't see any other damage that I need to take off on this plant, so we'll just move on to the other plants. That this can be avoided though, somewhat. It's the whole reason why we've been building that polytunnel over there. We're not finished with the polytunnel because these tomatoes were supposed to go into that polytunnel, but with the birth of the new baby and life just got in the way, and we weren't able to finish the polytunnel. So hopefully for next season we'll be more prepared for something like blight, so it could be in a more of a controlled environment rather than outside and just exposed to the elements. But yeah, I'm just gonna continue harvesting these tomatoes and see what other damage the blight has caused, and just deal with the losses and try again next time. Thank you for hanging out with me today in my garden, and we'll see you next time. Bye.